child with autism, makes a comment saying the school would, blow up. He gets arrested, goes to jail, handcuffs. Put up the institution. Talk about school to prison pipeline. A Black child with autism was arrested after saying his school will, quote, blow up over worries the stuffed bunny in his backpack would be confiscated. Okay. So a new law in Tennessee mandating that police charge both children and adults who make threats of mass violence with felonies. Whether the threats are credible or not has resulted, in escalating arrest of young students, some of whom have mental and intellectual disabilities. Now, this law, I hope, is challenged for its constitutionality. You have to engage in mens rea, the formation of criminal thought, before typically you could be charged with a criminal thing. A child who has autism should not be getting charged with a felony due to some state political mandate. But not only did he get charged, the law requires that the parents get charged. It's extreme, right? Regardless if it actually is credible or not. All of the discretion, according to the legislature, has been taken away from the judge, the prosecutor, the entire process. So among them is Ty, a 13-year-old child, a Black child with autism, who was arrested on the second day of school. He sneaked in his favorite plush toy, bunny. He got it in. It was in his backpack before heading off to his Hamilton County Middle School, where he told his teacher he didn't want anyone to look inside of it. When the teacher posed a question, Ty, real name withheld, responded, quote, because the whole school will blow up. He and his mother told ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio, which have co-published an ongoing series about Tennessee's crackdown on student threats. Ty's teacher immediately called the school administrator, who then notified the police. In a counselor's office, the backpack was opened to reveal a harmless toy bunny inside. As Ty stood there confused about what he had done wrong, the police handcuffed him, patted him down, then put him in the back of a police car. Okay? It's interesting. Children, especially those with the gift of autism, they see things in a very literal way. For example, if they watch a lot of cartoons and they see Bugs Bunny continue to terminate his enemy comes right back to life, reanimates. That kid says something about death, not understanding the finality of it, which means there's no mens rea formed, no criminal intent, and you have to interpret through the subjective mind of the individual. Isn't it ironic that in Tennessee, a 13-year-old child cannot have a 13-year-old mindset via the subjective mindset of a child with autism? However, a police officer is able to subjectively kill anybody they choose without having an objective referee. So the 13-year-old has more responsibilities to their immature actions than a cop who kills unarmed human beings. There's more. The sheriff's department. Lady issued a statement. The backpack was found not to contain explosive device. Well, see, the teachers already figured that out before you got there. The counselor opened it. Atlanta Black Star reportedly reports Ty was taken to a juvenile detention center. He was taken to jail. He was suspended from his middle school for a few days. His case was eventually dismissed in juvenile court, thankfully, soon after. His mother was incredulous because of how the school handled the incident. Ty's special education plan states that he is social and friendly with other students, but he has outbursts and meltdowns in class due to his disability. Federal law prohibits schools from punishing students with disabilities. There you go on the constitutionality of this. Too harshly for behaviors that are caused by or related to their disability. And the state law requires school officials to expel a student who makes a threat of mass violence for a year, but only if their investigation finds the threat is valid. See, all these are conflicting laws and policies. Ty's mother reports, quote, once you looked at his backpack, if there was nothing in there to hurt anyone, then why did you handcuff my 13-year-old autistic son who didn't understand what was going on and take him down to juvenile? Whenever we go past that school, Ty's like, am I going back to jail, Mom? He's for real traumatized, she said. I felt like nobody at the school was really fighting for him. They were too busy trying to justify what they did. Yeah, and I believe you, my dear sister. And it's unfortunate that we don't have student advocates inside of schools like we used to. ProPublica obtained data from Hamilton County, which revealed that in the first 6 weeks of the school year, 18 students were arrested for making threats of mass violence, even though school officials labeled most of the threats low level, no evidence of motive. Of the students arrested, 39% were Black compared to 30% of students in the district overall. 33% had disabilities, more than double the share of disabled students in the district's population. Disability rights advocates say students like Ty should not be getting arrested under Tennessee's current law, which includes an exception for people with intellectual disabilities, which Ty has in addition to autism. Now, hopefully this gets challenged on the grounds of it being in good conscience legally. But to the teachers who don't like the law, I know some of you begrudgingly will call the police based on your understanding of the law. You're not as innocent as you may think. I was adopted by a school teacher. She broke all the rules to adopt me. Damn near got fired from the school district. But she refused to be mindless herd when she knew she could do something. So I encourage you, I love school teachers, but I'm encouraging you, do the right thing by that child, because the entire reason you're there is for the experience of that young one. All right? All right, dear brother, thoughts here.
Well, my thoughts are simply that a Black child got arrested, a Muslim child would have been sent to Guantanamo Bay, and I feel like a white child may have gotten the sympathy and empathy they have deserved as a child that's diagnosed with autism. Regardless, more importantly, the key word isn't child diagnosed with autism. The key word is child. These are children. Right. They are bound, and they're bound to say things that are out of pocket all the time, especially with the colloquial slangs that we use today. What if he was like, yo, I'm about to blow up? What if he was talking like he's playing a video game and I'm killing them right now? Are you sending them all to jail? It's just that laws, despite popular belief, laws are meant to protect and not simply prosecute.
That's right.
40% are Black, a third had disabilities. 18 went to jail already. We haven't even started the school year. We haven't even hit the first midterms yet. And this was all over a plush toy that a 13-year-old student brought to school. Common sense isn't so common. It's all about de-escalation, not escalation. And we should learn that and teach that. And yes, we know that violence in schools and school shootings are disgusting And there's such a tragedy, but this is not that. You're not protecting anyone. The only thing you're doing is protecting that school to prison pipeline, privatization of jails pockets.
That's right. Very well said, dear brother. We will bring you updates as updates develop in Tennessee around the law.